Detective Barnes, so October 1, October 2nd of 2015, Kristopher Love was identified as a person of interest in this offense.
Yes, sir.
And he is brought in for questioning.
That's correct.
Could you tell the jury what your process is for bringing someone in for questioning?
Once someone is identified in an investigation as someone that we need to speak with, particularly as a person of interest, the first 5 to 10 minutes we spend building rapport, just talking to them, getting to ask them personal questions about themselves, and we fill out a personal information sheet. We'll get everything from their address, phone number, next of kin information, ask about parents and kids, that sort of thing, about level of education. And during that time, we're just really trying to break the ice and get a good connection with the individual. Once we feel like we've established a good level of communication with the person that we're interviewing, at that point we'll begin reading the Miranda warning.
And was that done in this case?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start with him initially being brought in.
Let me get some information. How do you spell your first name? K-I-T-O-B-A-T. Last name? What's your date of birth? What was it? 31. Well, my name is Look, man, I'm gonna get some information from you. This is homicide, right? I'm working a murder investigation, and the whole reason that I had you here waiting this long is that I need to see your name came up in the investigation. Okay? One of the things that I like to do as a detective, I want to sit down and get a feel for people, and part of this is for me collecting information, that's for me to help figure out who you are, get some little insight on who you are, where you live at, that kind of thing. And I don't, right now, you are not under arrest for murder. Okay? You are not, but your name has come up. And so I need to speak with you in regards to this murder. And if you weren't involved in it, if you were involved, those are the things that I'm trying to determine. If you were somewhere else, I need to figure out where you were at and get information as far as what, someone that will put you somewhere else.
So where is that? Where you involved in?
No, I'll tell you all about it. Let me get through this first. What's your address now?
7310 Marvin.
What's the word? Who you stay there with? You're from somewhere.
M-E-R-I-K-A.
What's the big one?
M-E-R-I-K-A.
M-E-R-I-K-A.
Yeah, somebody called to make sure she got my kid.
Yeah, we'll take it out of that, man. What was the last name?
S-W-I-N.
Just my partner, James.
What's up, man? How you doing? Good. I'm good.
It's been just business, man. I ain't been trying to leave you hanging. There's just been a lot of shit going on.
Man, y'all got me sitting here all the time, but no
go crazy.
Nah, we don't need you going crazy.
So they go crazy now. You're talking about a homicide.
Well, that's good. What you want me to keep it real with you now?
Hell yeah, I'm asking me.
Okay. You work right now?
I just do painting and tattoos and shit.
Okay. Well, you work for any company or you work with self-employed?
So,
All right. Where you going?
yeah.
Here and here. Who's your man? Yeah.
I was just born
Just born. What's your cell phone?
214-715.
Now, is that one of the phones that sometimes we get people in here? That's a number that I can call you on, you gonna have it. And sometimes people share phones with their little brother, their granny, or, and I call and I'm like, hey, and I speak to Chris, and they're like, Chris who? That's your phone? Okay. How long you had that number then? Okay. You got any kids? How is it? 3. Oh,
So my little girl, every month, my little 3 months old little girl,
so you got 11-year-old,
3-year-old.
3-year-old, and 11 months. Okay. Got 2 girls, 1 boy. Okay. What's your social, man?
311.
311 92
7392.
7392. Okay, your parents still alive? Okay, what's your parents' name?
Via VA.
And what was your other one?
Kim K.
Okay. You got a number for them?
My mother's number is 901. 333-9003. My dad number, you want your number too?
Yeah, what's your dad's number?
901-282-4136.
Okay.
And you know, call my girlfriend and said that she got my keys, because she can't get in the house with me. I got the keys.
You got the keys for the house and ain't no other?
I've been telling them all day, I'm like, she can't get in because the office closed. I got the keys and the car.
What's her number?
662-822-0055. When they got me, I go get my phone. When they got me, I was going to get them.
You said what's the number again? I'm writing down 662
822
862
0055.
0055. So that must have been some computer. That's your side piece then.
Yeah, the one with the pay. Yeah, my side piece.
Just your hungry. Okay. But I'm just asking because it was some confusion. I don't know. She may think she's
My girlfriend.
well. That's kind of what she was giving the impression that y'all fuck around.
Oh no, she knows she is my own girl. She knows.
Okay.
I be fucking with her. I be going over there chilling. That's what I was already doing. We just chilling. And they pulled in an apartment like somebody got murdered, basically.
Yeah. Well, I know that they had some stuff going on where somebody had stole something out of somebody's car.
Hey, my understanding, your girl knows she has the kids, and I think she's in a place, safe place. She knows about your situation.
Okay. Think she broke.
No, they said they personally talked to her.
Oh.
They have physically talked to her, and she knows the kids are okay and everything else.
And how long you been in Dallas?
About 2 years.
2 years. What made you move out this way?
My girlfriend moved.
Okay, so
My kids.
okay.
Her folks said so. She moving out to get a job and go to school. Yeah.
Is she from Memphis or is she from Dallas?
She from Mississippi.
She from Mississippi. And you from Memphis, but her people moved out this way, so she moved out here basically with her people.
No, people been there.
Okay.
She was just in Memphis, I guess, for a little while.
You followed her out.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, man. But like I said, this ain't no, I ain't the type of detective to try to play games with nobody. I ain't gonna trick nobody. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. That's how I get down. Both of us work the same way. One of the things that I do when I conduct business is I kind of look at this like my house. I spend so much time here that this is like my house. And one of the things that I do, you're a grown man, I'm a grown man. I'm not going to loud talk you. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to disrespect you. And I just ask that you do the same thing with me. Okay. Can we agree with that? Okay. So we definitely agree. I ain't going to over talk to you. I'm going to listen to what you got to say. You ain't going to over talk to me. You going to listen to what I got to say. We can conduct it like grown men. Okay.
So Detective, what we have just seen there is the process that you talked about, in terms of getting some basic information and then giving that person an idea of how this process is going to go forward.
Yes, sir.
This is Miranda warning. You had the right to remain silent, not make any statement at all. Any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any question. If you're unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to and during any question, and you got the right to terminate this interview at any time. You understand your rights? Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about why you're here today?
Yeah, you know that.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, man. Me and my partner got called in on September 2nd to work a murder over in Uptown. You know where Uptown is in Dallas? It's off of, it's a little north of downtown. Specifically where we got called to was 1700 Cedar Springs, to the Gable 17 parking garage. Have you heard anything about that? There was a dentist that was killed.
A dentist.
A dentist. Female dentist, white female named Kendra Asher. Was killed in a parking garage.
I don't even know what that's it. Like, I don't even know my way around to even know. You know, I know my way around GPS, but I'm sure like that. A white demon behind me shit.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, work these investigations. You hear some crazy things.
You see some crazy
You see some crazy things. But one part of it is you gotta follow up with whatever you hear. If somebody's name come up, I cannot say that I did my job without talking to people.
Somebody said that I got something to do with that.
Yeah, your name came up with being involved with this, and I'll tell you why. Before we get into that, on September 2nd, you remember where you were at or what you were doing?
I don't even know what day it is, but day it is.
It's a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. Beginning of the month.
Not really, sure. I can't just sit here and recite you my whole day, September the 2nd, and today is what? October
Almost a
2nd.
month.
Today October 2nd.
Yes, October 2nd, exactly a month.
Nah, I can't. If it was a Wednesday, it depends on what time it was. Either I was at home or what time.
7:40.
My kids be home. They get up at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I have to watch them till my girl get out of work. So,
Where does your girl work at?
hot pink extensions like hair salon, just
Hot Pink Extensions.
hot pink.
Hot Pink Extensions. And she worked that Wednesday.
Yeah. I think so.
What day does she normally have off?
Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday, so it ain't normal she have Wednesday. And your kids are 11?
My oldest girl's 11, she in Memphis.
Okay, so just the three.
My two little kids, 3-year-old and 10-month-old.
3 of them, 10-month-old. Does anybody babysit them outside you?
Do they care?
Daycare, but outside daycare, you have them the whole time too.
Why you think I'm sitting in here worried now? Because they ain't got nowhere to go.
But where were they at today?
They daycare. I was out there giving to the officers that they want me to go get them. I was on the next street from the daycare.
Okay, where is it? Which daycare they go?
It's on Hampton, a church on Hampton.
Okay.
Hampton, I think that's Kernwood.
So you pick them up and drop them off every day?
I drop them off in the morning and pick them up. Yeah, not every single day, but most of the time.
So on this Wednesday, say that morning, you probably drop them off at daycare. Normally, on a normal occasion.
Yeah.
But what time you drop them off?
Right.
Hey, how many? Now that car, that Sebring, is that your car?
That's my girlfriend.
That's your girlfriend's car? What do you normally drive your around? Okay, so you normally drive a Sebring. Okay.
That's the only thing I'm driving.
What time is your girl work on?
About 8 right out there.
So you take
She
her,
be there about 9, 10, yeah.
so y'all all load up, you drop the kids up and drop her off, and then you get your car. Okay.
Not all the time, but I'm like driving my license, so I can't say I keep the car all the time. I don't know if I kept it that day or not. I just can't be sure on that day, like I can't pinpoint no day, I get drunk.
But normally on the most, hey shit, I drink too, I feel you.
I can't pinpoint no day, to be honest. I know I ain't had none, I know I didn't murder nobody. There's not no white dentist.
Okay.
I don't got nothing to do with
So
it.
it was a black dentist?
Black dentist, white dentist, I ain't murdered nobody. I know I ain't did that, whatever go though. However my name got, I know I ain't did that.
Okay.
Well, you can go check though. I was at home around 9 times out of 10. Cause it was 7 o'clock in that night.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was at home like this. I ain't got nobody else to watch them. My girl got aunties and shit, but
They wouldn't have your kid.
no, I got
Okay.
everybody in the neighborhood know that I ain't gonna have my kids.
Okay. So, during that time, did you know, where you go? Let's see. You know a female by the name of Kristopher?
Yeah.
You know that Kristopher? I mean,
Short, she kind of thick.
describe it to me, so. Short,
She got a big old ass, like she thick, she short. She my homeboy sister, Kristopher. She drive expedition. Oh, Explorer.
No, we're talking about a different one.
You know what? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's on Kristopher.
You don't know Crystal Cortez? What about Brenda Delgado? I'm gonna go print some pictures. I want to show them to you, make sure you know that.
So Detective Barnes, at this portion of the interview, you've read him his Miranda rights and he's agreed to talk to you as we see, correct?
That's correct.
And he denies knowing his way around.
Yes.
Did you take that to mean knowing his way around town?
Yes. He told me that he needed his GPS to get around most places, but he wasn't familiar with Dallas.
And he also denies knowing Crystal Cortez and Brenda Delgado.
That's correct.
Oh, for the homicide. This shit is crazy.
Who is that in the room with him at this point?
That's my partner, Detective Derek Cheney. He's a homicide detective as well.
He said, that you know drives a Ford. Not Ford.
Like truck, Explorer. This is an Explorer,
One door, two door?
4 no, Explorer.
And she, what race is she?
She black.
She black.
Light skin, black. Ain't missing. If you know who she is, she got a big old ass, about 5 feet up.
Don't be long.
Yeah.
She about 5'8".
She about 5 feet. She's short, really short. I hope this ain't the person you talking about. I don't know her last name. I don't know.
That's on the person you have, you know? That you can think of?
Yeah,
Hear around with, associated with, treated with.
yeah, that's the only person that I know. Unless, there's people that I know that I see all the time, but I don't know their name. So I can't just say
When
what
you
he
said
said.
people, you mean like you right
Like people on the
around
ground.
in Breezeway or some people that you ain't seen in a while come holler at you?
Ain't nobody like it. Everybody I meet is pretty much new in my life. So I stand in the house.
Detective Barnes, does he try and misdirect you and Detective Cheney on a crystal that he knows?
Yes, he gives us a crystal, a light-skinned black female. It's about 5 feet tall. He describes as being thick. That's a sister of one of his homeboys, and that wasn't the Crystal Cortez that we were speaking about.
And then he goes on to say that anybody that he knows is new in his life.
That's correct.
So if he meets Brenda Delgado and Crystal Cortez August 12th, at least that part of the statement would be fairly true, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Tennessee think they run something going on.
Yeah, you ever seen this girl?
Is she white?
She's Hispanic. She looks white, got light skin.
I don't think so. I don't think some white people out there around. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Who are you?
I don't know. Are they white on this?
This is Mexican. Both of these are Mexicans.
I'm just trying to think of what I'm saying, apartments and everything, I talked to them. I done talked to some white people over there, but I didn't know these people.
You said, yeah, you talk to some white people, they live there, and you talking to them, serving some work.
I don't
So
say
they got
that.
white people be over there in Charleston.
Yes, it is.
Shit, let's say some city workers or something.
No, just go sit over there for a couple hours.
I need to go sit over there.
Like the apartments I was in, they be like people coming from, I don't know where they come from, but that's like well, I guess they eat crazy chicks or something.
Okay, it is.
It really is like
There's
this.
some apartments over there that cater to, like the special need, when I say MHMR, or they just got out of some kind of halfway house.
Like rehab.
Yeah, you're right.
So I see people all the time, and I don't just know. But I don't think so. I don't have a personal relationship with these people I have.
None of you would marry anything like that.
I do not know what else I can remember. It wasn't long enough for me to remember.
Is there any reason why you would have been in one of her cars?
It was.
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't think so.
And what about her? You ever rode in a vehicle with her? Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I'm gonna give you.
I don't ride with nobody.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking, I'm gonna give you a little science class, just a little quick demonstration.
I do it.
You know how when it's dark in your house and you open up shades, you see the light shine through, you see all that shit floating in the air? That's dead skin cells. Anytime you go anywhere, every second some dead skin cells fall off your body. You touch this table, take a Q-tip, swab it, your DNA will show it. Is there any reason that your DNA will be in any vehicle that belongs to either Crystal or Brenda?
I don't know them, so I can't like say for sure that I done seen them or been in their car, but I know I ain't never rode with them. So we never rode nowhere and I was in their car.
So that should be a no, right?
Yes or no?
Okay, I mean, you didn't say no, I'm just asking.
I said no, like I don't know them.
Okay.
I'm saying if I did see them before, it probably was like a split second, like I don't even remember them.
Do you ever deal with any white girls over there, or Mexican girls?
Yeah, there's a white girl over there. No, personally, Tiffany, she white. See, like these people over there that's white that I see all the time. See, like her camp supposed to be coming over, like, who's that? There's another dude over there, he white. His name's Zach, he white. It's a white dude. He just cut all his hair out.
Yeah.
He young and white.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever rode in a black Jeep Cherokee? Never in a black Jeep Cherokee. So there ain't no reason that your DNA will be found in a black Jeep Cherokee, 1996, square body, faded paint.
I ain't know about teacher.
No reason that any piece of your hair should be in there. That you can think of.
Now, Detective Cheney, at this point, not only is he giving the names of Crystal Cortez and Brenda Delgado, he's shown pictures of those two individuals
That's correct.
and denies knowing them,
That's correct.
and denies riding in the black Jeep.
That's correct.
Approximately how far into the interview are you? Is it 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour?
I believe we're probably about 30 minutes into it.
Right, your name came up in this investigation. And being friends with these two girls. That you know these two girls.
Where?
I don't know where you know from, I don't know how you met them.
So who said this? Them or another person?
It's multiple people
That said I never.
that you've been seeing with. Now that's coming from multiple people. Don't believe everything I hear. That's why I'm talking to you today to figure out if you do know. And if you do know, you know, maybe there's a reason why you know I'm here to figure out why I'm hearing this bullshit. You tell me this bullshit is bullshit.
Yeah, it got to be bullshit. Or it because it's weed, but I
Only little bit. What is your routine? Do you normally travel all around Dallas, certain areas you stay? You normally stay in Oak Cliff?
I stay in the area I'm in.
Yeah, you normally stay in Oak Cliff.
Unless me and my girl going out or some shit. We been out to the mall and shit, just, you know, sightseeing and shit.
Okay. Normally you stay in Oak Cliff, right?
Yeah. And I usually be walking or something, right? I walk over there, because I don't have a license. And I tell you, I got to in my car or something.
So you don't really be going too far in the car.
I tell you, been out for a minute.
Well, you know they got license plate readers over there on Campbell and Westmore. Your car has been over there a lot, around that area.
Just got here, man. Just can't wait for me.
Can't believe it. You said you had it out.
That's where the mall is, right?
Yeah, right by the mall.
Yeah, that's the same area.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you make that sound like you don't ever go, or your car been in Grand Prairie too.
My girl, I have a girlfriend. That's her car.
I'm just saying that you trying to make it seem like your car just stay in right there in Charleston and St. George.
Oh no, I said that. You said where I generally be at. I'm listening to your question. That's where I generally be at. I can't speak for the car now, because my girlfriend does that where she wants to.
Now, Detective Cheney, at this point, how far in terms of time are we into this interview?
I believe we're approximately an hour and a half into it.
Okay, and he is given a description or depiction of himself as someone who basically stays in one general area.
Yes.
And he tries to account for the car, or does he try to account for the car being in different areas because of his girlfriend?
Yeah, his response was that he can only tell you where he's at, that his girlfriend drives his car all over the place.
And do we know, because of the cell phone information that was discovered in this investigation, that he's not being truthful as far as his whereabouts?
That's correct. At that point in the interrogation, I was still breaking down. When he came in, he was very shut off. Didn't want to answer a lot of questions, didn't want to be there, didn't want to talk about it. So I was still breaking down barriers, still getting him to open up. And at that point, I was wanting him to forget that he was actually sitting in a police station. I wanted him to feel like he was sitting at a picnic table talking to one of his homeboys.
One of the things with this investigation, this young lady was killed. She was killed. And it wasn't a robbery. It wasn't, well, I say I don't believe it was a robbery. I believe it was a hit. I believe, let's just throw a hypothetical situation. I believe somebody was approached to do some shit to this young lady. Okay. The reason, there's a reason, motive behind it. The individual that was involved, let's call it the shooter. I believe the shooter was motivated by money, was approached for some kind of financial gain through this situation. I don't believe this individual knew the whole picture. I believe this individual was told some bullshit. What ended up being bullshit. And they got on board with something went wrong. And now they're caught up in some shit. Okay. I've interviewed a lot of people on this case. A lot of people. Some people, that live over at Surrey Road, they can say that they've seen you with these females. People over Surrey Road, they know you. They can put you with these females. And that's just me keeping it real with you. I know you.
Now, you're talking to him about what you believe is behind the offense, and initially I think you said it was a robbery,
I told him I didn't believe it was a robbery.
and still a response from him in terms of, or basically I don't know what you're talking about. He's still in that mode.
That's correct.
But it did involve a robbery.
Yes, it's what I was doing. I was trying to find different angles to get him to talk. He still wasn't willing to provide me the information I needed. And oftentimes when you're doing an interrogation, you have to jump around to find different ways and methods of getting someone to communicate with you. And he still wasn't quite ready to communicate yet.
And I may be jumping ahead a little bit, Detective, but do we ultimately find that while a robbery did take place, robbery was not the ultimate goal for this offense?
That's correct.
I don't know, so I've been sitting in the same room since 5 o'clock, but this man phone got to cut off. I can call you.
You know who he's talking to?
Yes, he's talking to America Swim.
Is he using his cell phone or your cell phone?
That is my cell phone.
And you have no obligation to let him use your cell phone to call it, do you?
No, sir, at all. I wanted him to feel as comfortable as possible in that situation, knowing that whatever I could do to put his mind at rest about his family and his kids, I felt he may be more cooperative with the investigation.
Your phone work. I'm talking about phone, collect phone. Put my iron on straight down. Alright. I believe too.
Tell us to use my phone and everything, man.
I appreciate it. Fuck my bad situation. That shit to do, man. I go see my little girl play basketball. I care more about that than the fucking murder.
He makes a comment about seeing his little girl play basketball.
Yes, sir.
What was it? Did you have any kind of internal reaction to him saying, I care more about that than a murder investigation?
It definitely, the whole time he was there, he showed a lack of emotion, lack of sympathy, just really was cold and turned off to anything dealing with the investigation. But that just kind of let me know where he was at mentally, that he basically told me he cared more about an athletic event than he did about someone being killed.
Yes. That's good.
You shouldn't let nothing come between you and your kids, man.
But, shit, I don't know. I'm not God. I can't even fucking say. I just know I ain't do all my kids' life. I just know that.
You know, a lot of people come out here and say that.
I don't care what they say, man. I'm do with me. My name is a lot of people.
Now, what did you take from that statement, I didn't do it on my kid's life?
That he was willing to swear on the life of his kids that he wasn't involved in this murder.
And I think you make reference to, you hear that quite often.
Yes, I think, so at that point in the investigation and interrogation, I felt like I was slowly breaking down his defenses one by one. And once we got there and he started swearing on his kid's life, he was trying to gain some confidence from me and some hope that I would believe that he wasn't actually involved in the offense, and I just wasn't buying it.
So the clip that we're about to see, Detective, at this point, how far into the interview are you with him in terms of time?
We're probably in double-digit hours. I believe we started around 1 a.m. and it appears to be around 11:30 a.m.
And do we see food on the table there?
Yes, sir. It looks like there's bottles of water. He's also wrapped up in a blanket that we provided to him, and I believe he was asleep on the floor prior to getting up and going to the table. Detective Shin is offering him a cigarette to smoke as well during that time.
Now, also during this time frame, are you going back and forth between him and other individuals that you're talking about?
I'm so
Yes.
sorry, another what?
Individuals.
Yes, during that time, Crystal Cortez, Kelly was there, and I was just going back, bouncing between rooms, gathering information, trying to find as much information as I could to get Mr. Love to open up about his involvement.
I'm coming here and sit down and talk to you after you get done eating. All right?
You ain't talking to me now, I ain't got it.
Well, the thing is that I bought you something to eat and I need to eat. I've been going at it all night too. Okay? The whole time I've been talking with you, I ain't disrespecting you, right?
No.
No? I've been pretty much keeping it real. I don't know what you did with the past. But when I tell you that supposed to be from he's supposed to be from Memphis. I don't know. He might be fraud.
He work here or he in jail.
Huh? Oh, it's either one or nah. It's a little shop right here behind the building.
Yeah. He from that cook.
Yeah. I want you to let me know what you think. Matter of fact, you don't mind if I sit in here and eat with you.
That's cool. I like you do that anyway. Just say you gonna talk while we do it.
Hey, why you in such a hurry to get out of here, man? You know,
I'll be out of here, man. I don't want to be in here getting investigated for homicide all day and night.
Whether you leave or not, the investigation ain't gonna stop.
I don't care. Just let me go straight. I understand it's not gonna stop. I'm not the person. Shit, it can't stop with me.
Okay. Well, I ain't saying that it's.
I know what you're saying, though, but
Okay.
you know, really get out there.
I feel you know how long I've been at work?
I see.
I've been at work since 7 a.m. yesterday. But you know what? When you work out of passion, you doing something you love, you don't worry about being tired.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you there's something important about this conversation I'm gonna have with you that is worth it. Me spending this extra minute and extra second to sit down and talk to you.
I want you to do that, possibly, because I really,
Well, I'm just saying that, I mean, well, there's a lot of things I agree.
should bring my head
When?
along. Probably end up dead, but it's been better than this.
I mean, you ain't gonna spit in my food or nothing if I leave it in there, right? 'Cause I ain't been bad to you.
I'm not gonna touch the food. I ain't that type of person. Ain't do no good. Ain't had no good.
All right. Hey man, do me a favor. Sit tight and right back.
So Detective Cheney, he has just stated that he did not have any guns, he hadn't thrown any guns. Words to that effect.
He had what?
Didn't have any guns, didn't throw any guns. Words to that effect.
Yeah, he was still distancing himself from any firearms at that point.
I'm sorry, Detective Barnes, I called you Detective Cheney.
It's all right. I take that as a compliment.
So at this point, how many hours are we into being interviewed?
We're coming up on 12 hours, I believe.
And you bought him lunch and you bought him dinner at this point?
Yes, once he ate dinner, that was a good I was using that as a chance to kind of take a break from the investigation, reevaluate my method on interrogating him. He was still talking. He was still in a pretty decent mood, and we just continued the conversation. I just took a break from the interrogation to figure out which path I wanted to go down next.
Now, the next clip that we're going to see starts off with you telling him we need to have a conversation.
That's correct.
You remember that portion of the interview?
Yes, I do. I just got notification. So earlier in the morning, there was a search of the Sebring. The firearm was recovered. We just received positive notification that the firearm that was recovered out of the vehicle was a match for the shell casing found at the murder scene.
And when you start off with that conversation with him and you ultimately let him know a weapon was found in his car, do we see a noticeable change in his demeanor?
Yes.
I think, in fact, you sit down and you tell him we need to have a conversation, and does he kind of gleefully say to you, I'm listening, brother, again?
Right.
Or I'm listening again?
Again.
Here's the thing. We need to have a conversation, okay?
Again.
But we need to have a conversation. Who besides you has a key to your car?
My car?
Yeah.
My baby mom.
Just you and your baby mama. Just one key. We need to search one of your car. And we found a gun in your car.
But y'all got a gun in my car.
That's not right here. You ever seen that gun before? Yeah. Whose gun is that? That's your gun? Okay. Now let's have a conversation. Alright? We need to talk. We did some tests with this gun. What do you think I found out?
Shit, I don't know.
You don't know what I found out?
Tell you the truth about that gun from that girl.
From what girl?
So we're probably, Detective Barnes, how many hours in at this point?
Let's say 14, 15 hours.
And the previous hours, complete denial of knowing Crystal Cortez, and in a flip of a switch, this is somebody who's bought a gun from.
That's correct.
You bought it from Chris. Okay, when did you buy it from? When did you meet Chris?
Like 2 weeks before that.
2 weeks before that, when you meet her?
Sleep. Okay.
Okay. Where were y'all at?
We can step down somewhere.
Y'all just ran into her?
Shit, I think he called him, so it's gonna be there.
Where did y'all meet up at?
We can step down somewhere.
Just, we at the park? We y'all at the Little World? We y'all at the car wash? Where we y'all at? Somebody's house? Okay. She came through, what was she driving?
A little car. She wasn't driving. She ain't driving over there.
I thought you told me you didn't know her, man.
I did.
What was that about?
Detective Barnes, at this point, the jovial Kristopher Love has disappeared, hasn't he?
Yes, I think it's actually setting in that he's not going home.
And in your opinion, was he trying to come up with a time frame for buying that gun, making sure that time frame is after the offense date?
Yes, that's exactly what I picked up on when he immediately told me that he purchased it from Crystal. He gave me a time frame after the offense occurred. And
That was the gun that was you.
the thing about that was Crystal was already in jail. Crystal was arrested 2 days after the offense.
It was in this offense. We need to talk, man. Because here's the thing, like I told you earlier. I believe that there was some information that was given out. Somebody got some bad information on this.
And I remember the truck she dropped me out there
When?
on one days. I served some weed, so I was dropping me out. Where she dropped me out in my gate. So I can get my kids.
What was this?
Yeah, they can count on my phone.
And where was Kelly at whenever she served you with a week?
Where was he at when I served her with?
Yeah.
He was there most of the time. She never came without him being.
So she served, you served her with sweet. How much weed did she buy from you?
Detective Barnes, he makes a comment about serving weed. What does that mean?
That he sells illegal marijuana.
And based on your investigation, was marijuana part of the payment for committing this offense?
Yes, it was.
It wasn't the second or the third.
When did you first come out? It was right before I got that gun, Mr. Jordan, yeah. It wasn't the next day. See, like I served her the weed one day, and the next day I didn't see it, and they came with it.
So, sometime during the week of this murder, you were in that Jeep.
Yeah, she dropped me off in my gate.
She dropped you off at your gate sometime during the week of the murder. And sometime during the week of the murder, you bought his gun from her.
Yeah, about to say no Friday. I think it was Friday.
Friday or Saturday.
They got some money from my girl Friday, so they did Friday.
You got some money from your girl, your main girl?
I only got one.
Okay.
No, my other girl, no.
Okay, so your baby mama, you got some money from her. How much money did you get from her?
About 200.
200. You got $200 from her. And you bought the gun for how much?
247.
247. What was the 247 about?
So I did. Got some cigarettes and shit.
And she came by herself this whole time. She met you in the South by herself.
Yeah, she met me. She didn't know me nobody. I don't know the other girl.
That story would almost work, but it's too many witnesses.
Too many witnesses to what?
Too many witnesses putting that gun in your hand at the time of this offense.
So now, Detective, he has gone from, or has he gone from not knowing anything about a Jeep to being in the Jeep the week of the murder?
That's correct.
However, is he still denying knowing Brenda Delgado?
Yes.
But is he trying to establish some alternate connection with Crystal Cortez?
Yes, what he's doing is backtracking and filling in earlier parts of the interrogation where we talked about possibly why his DNA would be in the truck or why people would tell me they've seen him with these individuals.
But you know what, this thing, thing is, this is what I was talking to you about.
I mean, I know what you're saying. I know
This is what I was,
my story and all this shit.
because this is the important part about all this.
I got the story. I just told you. It's not a story. It's not a lie. That's the truth. I can't do nothing but take it now.
Cause y'all trying to be on. So why not something? Yeah, I do know her. About to know her. I ain't never kicked it with her. Like, we ain't no buddies. Like, that was his fucking friend. Only time I seen her, she was with him.
Where did you meet her?
I just talked to him. South Dallas to the house.
At a house in South Dallas, okay.
He took me over.
He took you over, okay. How long ago was this?
Probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, this shit happened.
Okay,
This shit happened.
all right. So you go over there, you meet her.
I ain't really just meet her. She came to the car, like, this is my mom, my sister, this nigga, like, I was baby, and they walked out talking. I was sitting in the car.
Okay, what car were y'all in?
My car.
Your car. So he walked off. What happened? And what's the next time you saw after that?
Shit, the way she dropped me off. I had seen her again, but I ain't say nothing to her, because she was going out and I was coming in.
Going out of work.
At the apartment.
Which one?
So,
Sorry, Road. Whose apartment over there?
who's it?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody.
What's the door number? 1032. And she was coming over there while you were walking out.
I guess she was coming over there. I was on the apartment.
Okay.
She was coming in. I think they were saying, because I was in the bag up. But I didn't make it home.
When did you meet Brenda?
I ain't never met her.
So you ain't never met Brenda?
I ain't never met her.
You know, that's where things start to fall apart for you, man. Because I'm telling you, the most important thing that you can do today is to be honest about the situation.
I ain't getting her.
And she was coming over there while you were walking out.
I guess she was coming over there. I was on the apartments.
Okay.
She was coming in. I think there was something. I was in the bag up. But I didn't make it home.
When did you meet Brenda?
I ain't never met her.
So you ain't never met Brenda?
I ain't never met her.
You know, that's where things start to fall apart for you, man. Because I'm telling you, the most important thing that you can do today is to be honest about the situation.
I ain't getting her. I don't know what to do. Now, I'm in possession of it gun.
Yeah.
But I ain't do it. If you can find somebody to say he did that, shit, take me to jail. They can say I had a gun. I ain't even been carrying it at all.
Well, see, I know this game that you playing is, if you catch me, then I'll tell you.
Nah, I ain't.
That's what you're doing right now.
I ain't said it's not right now.
Yeah, you didn't say it until I came in here and confronted you with it. Because you already knew what time it was.
What can I do? You found it.
Right, that's what I mean.
Possession.
So,
I'll take the gun charge.
in other
I ain't shot nobody.
in other words, you catch me, then I tell you.
I ain't shot nobody, bro. You ain't gonna catch me if I can tell you shit. You got me right here with a gun already.
Yeah.
Something that I don't fucking need.
Not just a gun, but a gun that was used to kill.
homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a capital murder.
Yeah.
Not just a homicide, a capital murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it, man. This shit is fucking crazy.
And I can tell you right now, Kelly is not gonna say,
He had a gun.
yeah, he ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, I know it. I can't say he did it because I don't know who the fuck he was. I wish I could snitch on a motherfucker that did. Shit, that's the only way I'm linked to it right there. There's a gun and she did drop me out in the truck. I had a drag in this truck.
No, that's not gonna be the only way that you link to it.
Shit.
That's not the only way you link to it. Those are just two ways that you link to it.
That was them, no, right?
Two is okay. 4 and 5 is better. Co-defendant testimony is even better. But the problem with this case is the motive.
I don't got no motive. I ain't
No.
I ain't got no motive to me. You need to be talking to them.
You know what?
Crystal and whoever she is.
This whole thing from this morning, you denied knowing her.
I did not know her.
You did not know her, bro.
Bro.
You did not know her from the beginning.
Yeah, I did.
For no reason. It don't hurt you to say that you know her. How does that hurt you?
It don't hurt me, but
You know why it hurt you? Because you were in that vehicle with her.
yeah.
You were in the Jeep. You were in the murder vehicle with the driver and the murder weapon. There was some stuff found at the crime scene.
What?
Evidence.
You might as well tell. Ain't no problem not telling, man. Tell.
I'm just saying it's evidence. Evidence.
From me?
This,
You telling my hair?
the shooter will know what evidence was there.
What you talking about, my hair? That's the only thing that could have been in that truck. My hair probably out.
No, I said at the crime scene. Crime scene is not inside the truck. I'm talking about beside my victim.
Besides of it.
Beside my victim.
What was that?
Evidence.
My ID is up shit?
Nah, it wasn't your
I
ID.
can't find it.
It's at your house.
The evidence is in my house.
No, your ID is at your
I
house.
always found it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. This investigation is going on a long time. One of these days, you're going to sit back, you're going to look at this. You're going to look back at this and realize what is worth it. You were already caught in a bad situation. It don't have to be worse. This thing is going to stink. Why would you take a hit for somebody? Because you're going to take a hit. You're going to
I
take,
knew it was, I tell you.
you're going to take a hit.
I see that, man. I'm gonna take it for this fucking gun.
The thing is, we need to come all the way full circle with this thing.
Dr. Barnes, let me ask you, at this point, how many hours, in your estimation, are you into this interview?
It's past 15 hours, I believe.
And 15 hours in, he's still denying knowing Brenda.
That's correct.
Now, with respect to Surrey Road and Mandalay Palms apartment, is the defendant known to have a connection to both of those places?
Yes.
And are they right next to each other?
Yes, they're on the same street.
Pull somebody else. This stuff put itself together. What I'm trying to really figure out, man, is why is Brenda so important to you?
Brenda?
Yeah.
What the fuck she would be important to me?
I don't-
Not important to me. I knew how to tell them.
I don't, no, you say
Right now.
that. You say that, but you told me earlier that if you knew Krista, you would tell me.
Yeah, I did, but I mean it now. Like I thought.
What's the difference? What has changed?
Y'all found my fucking gun.
What has changed?
Y'all found this fucking gun.
It's
And it's involved in the murder. Now, they just found the gun and it wasn't involved, it'll be alright. But you come to my this, what you think this gun did? I'm like, I don't know, this is murder with. Damn it.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Because you know what? It's more than just this.
What else is it?
It's more than this. The locations you at, it's okay.
What about fucking gun?
I know where you at.
What like?
I know where you at. Jack in the Box.
Like you said?
Yeah.
My car was a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, you were at the Jack in the Box. You were at the Jack in the Box. You, Crystal, and Brenda were in that Jack in the Box.
We was in the Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Y'all were in the Jack in the Box. I can tell you when.
On the third.
No, the second.
I was the second.
Yeah, the morning of this murder.
Me, Krista, and Brenda was in the Jack in the Box. That eating? Kicking it.
It's up to y'all. I don't know what y'all were talking about. I can guess.
Ain't no way.
I can guess what y'all were talking about.
Man, it's my girl right there. I had that gun.
I can come
with that girl.
I can come
All
together
this other
with it.
shit, you can come together with it. That ain't got nothing to do with me, brother. I ain't killed this lady. But I did.
Okay.
I did. I wish I could be informed before you can find out shit. But
It's
I can't
okay.
have this shit.
And I don't, evidence is gonna speak for itself, man.
Well, let me get charged a little way.
Evidence will speak for itself. This charge ain't gonna go away, man. But what I would tell you, honesty is the thing that will benefit you at this point. Because right now, you are in possession of a murder weapon. You were inside the murder vehicle with the girl that's driving the murder vehicle at the time of the offense. And I got multiple ways to prove this.
Prove it. Tell me.
The thing is,
You gotta keep it to yourself.
well, I can't discuss everything with you. But what I can tell you is,
You discuss damn near everything, sound
not everything. I can't tell you everything.
It sound like a shit. I'm in Jack in the Box. I got the gun. You said I was in the car when the shit happened, which I don't think I was. Well, I know I wasn't. This lady dropped me out. And I ain't been in there one fucking time.
Where'd you sit at in there?
In the passenger seat.
In the passenger seat.
Yeah.
That's the only place you ever sat in this truck.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anybody else in there when you got in there? Nobody else saw you in this vehicle. There was no other passengers when you rode in there. Okay. Okay. Well, it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna sit in here and beat around the bush. We'll type this paperwork and we're gonna be done. If you need anything, knock on the door.
I need to use it. So I use it when I got to talk.
Let me go grab it.
What's it?
It's on the chart. Let me go grab it.
So I got a capital murder charge.
Yeah. You know, I wish we get to the point where we get to the bottom of this. That's only up to you. I'm not here, you're a grown man, I'm not
What's
here to
the
try.
bottom? If y'all saying I'm the killer, it's the bottom, right?
There's
If
only,
I had somebody else saying I'm the killer, I would, but I ain't like everybody else. Everybody got somebody else.
well, what I'm trying to tell you,
Detective Chamber, we see you, I did it again.
Thank you.
Detective Barnes, we see you step up and leave the room. Is that part of your interviewing strategy to try and see if he'll stay engaged with you?
Yes, at that point, I wanted to ramp it up a little bit. Prior to me walking out, he was back in the kind of the jovial, let's play a game kind of mode, and I wanted to get him out of that. He was locked into accepting the gun charge, and I took that as him minimizing his role. I'm willing to accept the gun charge, but I'm not the shooter, so I don't want anything to do with that until you can tell me otherwise. Put more evidence out here that I did more than that.
And shortly, we're going to hear him ask for an attorney.
That's correct.
And what is your response to that?
Well, once he asked for an attorney, I immediately terminated the interview. As I'm walking out of the room, He then asked me, why did we let Brenda go?
And can you tell the jury what, with respect to your investigation, what was going on with Brenda Delgado at this point?
At this point in time, Brenda, we believe, had fled. Pretty much, she had been gone from Dallas close to a month. We believe she was in Mexico hiding out with family members.
And our time frame, our offense date is September the 2nd.
That's correct.
And we're at the beginning of October when we're talking to Kristopher.
Yes, it's exactly 30 days.
At the point in time when you talked to Brenda, that was probably 2 days after the offense.
That's correct, September 4th.
Did you have enough, despite your suspicions, did you have enough evidence to detain and charge her with that offense?
No, I did not. I had a hunch, a strong hunch, that she was involved, and I had a good idea that, you know, this was a love triangle that went bad. It was a jilted lover scenario, but there was no evidence at that time that I could justify putting her in jail.
The why is why I'm here for.
Why do y'all think it was a second person? Why did she couldn't do it? I'm just saying, what makes y'all think she didn't do it?
We're not even gonna discuss that. We're not even.
I'm just saying, what makes y'all think that she didn't?
We're not even gonna discuss that. We're not gonna that because I told you what I know.
Yeah, I know you're trying to say, though.
When you get serious about this, when you get to the point when you say, you know what, to tell the boys you kept it real with me, I'm not even gonna play no games no more. Then maybe we can have a conversation.
The conversation can't help me out. It was somebody else.
Who's it helping out?
Whoever y'all looking for.
Okay.
I mean, helping y'all out. It's not gonna help me.
What do you mean?
If I tell you something that I don't even know, like I just
I don't
can't
even
make
know
up
something. No, that's what I'm.
and you believe it,
Okay.
it's not gonna help me.
Well, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna go take care of this paperwork, man. I got a lot of stuff to do. If you need something,
It's gonna be a lot. Y'all want the phone right quick. If you can go do that before you bring the phone. No matter what.
why?
Why?
Yeah. And you know exactly what I'm asking for. And I ain't asking you to lie. I don't want you to lie. I want you to be honest, because honesty is going to be maybe something that helps you later on. Well, I can tell you this, that if you don't speak for yourself, who's going to speak for you? You think Brenda's going to come in here and say anything for you? You think Brenda's going to do?
What can she say? If she involved, and what can she gonna say? He did. I didn't do nothing.
Well, but you know what? But you know what? The thing is that who's going to speak up for you? You're not going to speak for yourself?
I already did.
No, you didn't. You stated the obvious. You stated what was going to be proved anyways. And you gave a lame-ass alibi. That shit is lame as hell and it ain't going to work. That ain't going to work nowhere. If anybody that's got an idea of how things work knows that you held that to the very last second when you already knew what time it was. You knew what was going on today. You just was playing it by ear. And I ain't mad at you. I mean, it's just the way shit goes. I mean, when your cards are up, your cards are up. I mean, that's just what it is. But I can tell you, I'm not finna go down for nobody else's bullshit. Not when there's some shit that can be straightened up. When I can add some light and say, you know what, maybe have you guys even considered this?
I just did. You walked out.
When?
And I considered her being a shooter. But she can't be no shooter.
No.
She can't be one. See why not?
So you telling me Crystal's a shooter?
Let me tell you this. Don't give me some paper. Don't give me some to record this.
What, you gonna write it down?
Yeah, I'm right. Or record it, however you wanna do it. 'Cause I don't get nothing misconstrued, go back to that line, I'm saying shit one time, I'm done. Just say anything.
I'm gonna put it on voice recorder right here. Okay, it's recorded.
I don't wanna put it. I need a lawyer.
Okay.
I don't get no care. I reckon.
I'm gonna be out here, man.
Yeah, I really can't.
If you need something, man.
Has he just asked for a lawyer?
Yes, he did.
And are you required at that point to stop interrogating him about the offense?
Yes, I was done asking him questions, and at that point, I was letting him know if you need anything from me, just knock on the door, and I'll come check on you.
Yeah.
Knock on the door.
I'm gonna take you, dude. You're loud.
It may take a while, man.
God damn it,
So
man.
I said, if you need something, knock on the door. You gotta use the restroom.
I guess. Anyway.
Here, let me, go and spark that one up, let me get that lighter. I gotta give it to the video, get out of it. Don't forget, man, we need something.
Why did y'all let Brenda go if y'all had her?
You just asked for an attorney, I can't talk to you though.
Why did y'all let her go?
Can't talk to you, man.
Now, you're letting him know that you can't talk to him. We lose sound here, and you see that there's gestures from you. What are you saying to him?
I believe I'm telling him that I need the lighter back, first of all. So I'm telling him he can go ahead and light his cigarette. And I also told him and reinforced to him again for the third or fourth time that I cannot continue this interrogation. I cannot ask you another question without reading you your Miranda warning, and then we can continue.
But he asked us to continue talking.
Yes, he did.
In order for me to continue this conversation, I have to read this, you understand? Okay. This is your Miranda warning. You have the right to remain silent, not make any statement at all. Any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any questioning. If you're unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to and during any questioning, and you have the right to terminate this interview at any time. Do you understand your rights? You gotta say yes. Yes. Okay. Do you want to continue this conversation? Okay. Now, what did you say?
I'm saying, why did y'all let him go?
Why did we let Brenda go? The timing wasn't quite right. That's the best way to answer. At that time, that point in time, a lot of evidence has been collected since then. But I can tell you, here's the deal, man. It's not, anybody can figure out what this was about. There's a lot of people that got caught in the mix of this thing that really didn't have nothing to do with this. I mean, it's obvious. I know you don't care about, I mean, you didn't have nothing against that lady. And I know that Crystal didn't have nothing against that lady. That's what I'm assuming. I know who did though.
Brenda. You know what did Brenda have?
Right. I mean, where'd you get that from?
Now, we just hear him make a statement about this being about a boyfriend. Had you said anything to him about a boyfriend being behind, being the motive for this offense?
No, I didn't.
Okay. On television, on your phone. What were you told? What did she tell you?
It was just like, go take this for the cartel and I'm paying.
And take this for the cartel, what did you take that to mean?
He was indicating that he was tasked with going to take her ID and her purse for the cartel.
She asked the lady first, and she started fighting me.
So she gets out of her car, you jumped out to snatch her purse?
I did.
Okay. What kind of purse was it?
It was green. Pink. What am I looking for? I don't know.
How did you get linked up with Brent? What was that?
So now at this point, Detective Barnes, give us an estimate of how far into the interrogation you are with him.
Approximately 16, 17 hours.
And drastic change in his demeanor. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct. He was at a point where he was giving in. He was willing to provide us with details, but he wasn't willing to go the full length with it.
And his explanation for being involved in this offense has something to do with the cartel?
Yes, he said that he was supposed to go grab the purse and the ID for the cartel.
And given your law enforcement experience, is that how the cartel operates?
Nowhere near close. I haven't worked any investigations involving any cartel. They hire someone to steal a wallet. It makes no sense.
Oh, they dealing with somebody else.
Why you say it's somebody else?
You talking about you saying I'm telling you something me.
Who's over there at that other spot? You said across from the, but what made you say they dealing with somebody over there? What kind of car were they in? What color was it? With a red top? That car had paper tags on, you know where those tags came from?
I don't know none of this shit. I do know I was promised a lot of drugs to take ID, in which I couldn't go in first and get ID, so I took it all. I ain't know nobody was gonna jump out jumping on me and shit. So I go around, watching Kristopher was bagging up, so I guess to me, and she stopped at me, I jumped in the truck, she shot.
Now where did,
We ended up bagging up and going the wrong way and turning back around again, and she was on the foot, she was going.
there was some more stuff taken besides the purse.
That's how I took the purse. Do that shit in the front seat. I ain't really doing that. After that, I was just thinking like, damn, got myself out and the bullet and shit, so I was driving it.
Where'd she drop you out there?
She was just looking at the blank face. I just got it out, shook my head, like, God damn it. I ain't asking no questions, I was just thinking, like, damn, myself, shit. Come back around, come back. I did battle gun. Because I thought about it. You got the gun and shit happened with it, just sell it to me. She saw it.
Some witnesses said that there was an individual that had a mask. Everybody had a mask on. Are you saying there's other people involved?
the truck.
Have you seen any of them?
I mean, the car tail. Jumped out. Well, I jumped out. And it was up there, back out here for the house. Somewhere. I was up out there for the food place. And,
So give me a rundown of this day, man.
get up. All that stuff, the weed and shit. Came over about 5. Well, about 4.
Where'd y'all go? At 4 o'clock. But what time y'all get in there?
Oh, shit.
How did you know what time to be there?
All I need to do is snatch the ID. I need the ID. So all it was, ID. I'm like, what the fuck you need the ID for? Like, it's a little white lady in a white car. I'm like, all right, I jumped down, snatched that shit from her, so she got out. But she jumped on me.
I hate you.
No, she just tried to grab the shit back. So I like pushed her back into the door. And I pushed her back when I was standing right there, but I was open the door. So I was getting in the car, I heard one shot. I looked back. I ain't looked to see if she was dead or not. I'm like, come on, let's go. So she bagged up without me even having my door closed, turned around, and we went into a dead end and turned back around. Came back out.
Who else was in the car with you? Her son went in there? Yeah, her baby went in there? It was just you and Kristopher. Well, you know we got video from inside the parking garage. I know exactly where you got out of the car. The car was parked next to a red vehicle. Y'all parked in facing this way. Kristopher stays in the driver's seat. You get out of the car on the driver's side, rear passenger, and you stand there. Toyota comes in, parks. What happens next? You walk straight over there.
She was bagging me as I snatched it.
So she backs out as you snatch it, and what happened?
I jumped in the truck and I heard the shot. Bam.
So she had to put the truck in park as she's backing up, and she shoots.
How much is it?
Well, it didn't exactly happen like that. Because the driver's side is going to be right here, right? So you pull it in here, she's parked here. You get out here, walk around, go straight over here.
Like this. Like that, she was parked right here. She bagged up.
Show me how was the lady standing whenever she was getting out of her car? Did she see you coming out?
I opened my back door and I see me. That told me her back door was locked.
Who told you that? Kristopher. They said her back door didn't lock. So you open up the back door. And what is she doing at this point? If
She getting her shit on the seat.
okay.
You know, when she came in, she grabbed up her because now you know I get it from the back. So I closed the door and just snatched it from her.
So if this is her, she's getting out of her driver's seat. You open up this door. Show me how it happened. So okay, so we're gonna turn this one. This is the driver's seat.
Yeah.
This is the passenger. This is the rear passenger. So this is the driver's seat right here. So she's sitting right here.
I opened the door. She was getting her stuff out when I was in there.
She was getting
My door was open.
her door's open.
My door was cracked.
Her door's cracked. So she's sitting here grabbing stuff like this. And what happened then?
I opened the door and that's when she
Jumps up and starts pulling her stuff.
yeah.
You trying to reach up here and just grab her.
I ain't have a chance to reach because I opened the door. Soon as I opened the door, she seen me and started getting her stuff. She was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
So I like shifted my way this way. I slammed the door and just give me this. I turned around because I heard the truck. I was gonna go back to the truck. When I turned around, the truck was bagging up right there. So I just opened the door, I threw that shit in there, and I was getting in. I got shot.
So at that point, when the truck comes to a stop,
It was stopped enough for that to happen.
okay, I'm just trying to get a visual of how this. Okay, so
It was too fast, bro.
Okay.
She threw it in parking lot.
This is-
I know she bagged all up. We went the wrong fucking way.
okay, so this is her. Let's say I'm Crystal's. This is the Jeep, and this is where old girl is at right here. She backs out which way? This way, right?
Yeah.
She whips it back. You come
No,
around.
this way.
She turns this way,
Yeah.
and you come jumping in this side.
I jumped in the driver's side.
Yeah, you jumping in the driver's side,
In the back.
in the back. So you run around jumping in the driver's
I had
side.
to run around. If you bag up like she's driver's side, man, listen.
Okay, so you turn this way. She comes out with this. So Crystal hops out the driver's side.
She just stepped out. Well, look, I turned around. I don't know if she stepped out or not. I know her door was on.
So you didn't see that part. You just locked it right there.
Wow. And I looked back, and I don't know, I thought I had pushed her and she was just down at first. But I had asked her on the way back there, I'm like, you shot her? She's like, I don't think so. And we went on to the gate.
Where'd y'all go after that?
She called me out, I was gonna take me and drop me the fuck out. I was pissed off, really. It was fucking snatch a fucking purse. ID fucking shit. But not fucking murder over there. Not to my knowledge. And I don't know what they was saying.
Now was it?
I was just tired of getting caught up in that bullshit, but fuck it. He probably need to go free. If I gotta go, they gonna do shit. I ain't got shit to do with this. What ain't fucked up that situation? Ain't gonna never see my.
What did Brenda? What kind of conversation did you have with Brenda?
She was asking me what kind of drugs I want.
And she told you she was from the cartel. What kind of the conversation about the drugs? What did she? Was she quoting prices to you?
Oh no. Oh, that shit.
Or she said she would get you whatever you want?
Crystal did all the motherfucking yes, and like, fucking, what you wanna call this shit?
Go sound.
Yeah. I really ain't talking. Snatch up his purse, give you an ID, right?
I know they show back up over at the apartments that night.
Yeah.
They bring you a zip.
I wish that would. That was cold. Ain't robbing shit.
Detective, in the clip that we just witnessed, is the defendant trying to describe a scenario where while he is struggling with Kendra Hatcher over her property, Crystal in that Jeep backs up to where they are and fires a shot?
Yes, during that portion of the interview, what I got from that is that there was blame being put on Crystal, and there was even blame put on the victim. That had she not fought him, then she wouldn't have got shot. He said that Crystal stepped out of the vehicle, and while he was struggling
Yeah,
with,
I'm not objecting to having the witness repeat exactly what he said on your tape.
the victim, according to Mr. Love, Crystal stepped out of.
The same objection.
Let me ask you this, Detective. The surveillance video from the garage.
Yes.
The sequence of events that he has given you, does the surveillance video from the garage support that?
No, it doesn't.
In my head, like, yeah, but damn. I'm still gonna be the killer. You know, I ain't gonna. I'll testify, man. If I can, you know. I know they gonna try to testify together to get me sent to right, but they can't. It's y'all fucking problem. And Kristopher doing that shit. Kristopher going through this thing too or some shit. I don't know. It's emotion, baby. I don't know about this little boyfriend thing they're talking about, like you said. I don't know about it. But I believe it's more than that.
Like what you think?
Yeah, she just wanted to let it ID. Like you just wanted somebody to snatch her ID. Like, what the fuck? There's something more to it than that. Like, that's all you need? That's all you want is ID. You ain't talking about getting no money. You ain't talking about doing nothing to her. So like, if you usually want something done to somebody, you can be like, just beat their ass and rob them. Or something like that. It was like, just get the ID. I'm like, get the ID. That's all you want, the ID. She's like, yeah. She was kind of confusing, but shit.
Well, the thing about that is, man, I believe that story is about 70 to 80% true. The 20.
It's 90, but I don't know half of it.
Well, you know what? I may give you 90, but the 10% is missing.
I don't know that 10.
No, I'm gonna tell you the 10 because there's a video camera from the parking garage on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's how I know which side of the vehicle you got out of, and you didn't get in the driver's side. You got in on the passenger side. She backed out this way, you hop in the back seat of the passenger side, and y'all did go the wrong way. But only one person got out of that vehicle. That one person that got out, the one person that got out of that vehicle was you. Yeah, you were the only one that got out.
So I can't tell if she got out or not, but I know I ain't shoot her like.
She didn't get out of the car. Once that vehicle was put in reverse, it never stops again. Never stopped again. The vehicle was put in reverse while you were running to it. That is on video. That's how I knew it was two people. I knew from the gate.
I was so confused when she was fucking out. I was so thrown out by it, really. Because how it happened so fast.
Let me ask you this, man. What could they say to you that just convinced you that they had these kind of connections? What did they show you that made you think that this was some really cartel-related stuff?
She showed me dope. I just didn't get it.
What kind of dope did she show you?
Okay, man,
Was it a lot?
an ounce of cocaine, probably about a feet of weed, that's 4 ounces.
And that was enough to make you believe that she was in a cartel.
When I got motherfucking Kelly telling me the shit, and I got Kristopher telling me the same shit, I got you end up believing. And you showed me some dope, but I ain't want it then. I didn't want it if I didn't do it. I seen Kristopher. I'm like, oh my God, with the money. They already got me with a charge. Like, all we straight with this. I said, well done. She's like, I got it on myself too. So,
You may need anything to drink? You need to use the bathroom or anything? Okay. I'm not sure it work out with that.
me and y'all going to get ready.
We gonna work on getting ready, man.
Hey, y'all gonna work on it. Y'all need to go get it. Y'all came and got me.
Who's that?
Y'all came and got me. Y'all need to be going to get her.
We're going to get him.
Cause she fucking puzzle y'all. The top of the puzzle y'all need.
Well, I mean, basically, the only thing she told you is that this was cartel related, and she wanted it first, right? And that car door was unlocked like she said it would.
Yeah, that's why I go try out there. They fucked it up, so it was not. They already been trying to do this.
Who messed the lock up?
One of them, it was Kristopher. Cause they knew it was fucked up.
Do you know how they were following her around?
Fine. Yeah, unless they follow around the car, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't follow around the car, we just got cars, I guess. Different cars. They wasn't following the car. That day we didn't have to follow, so like Chris already knew what she was gonna be. Like I ain't asked, I didn't ask how you know she gonna be there, like she knew.
Well,
They knew everything before I even got with them.
I can tell you, man, that as far as this thing goes, that
I'm fucked.
it's on camera. We didn't ever release that footage, but that part is on camera.
It showed me shooting somebody.
It shows you walking up,
It showed me walking up, yeah,
shooting,
and shooting.
and shooting. The driver never got out of the vehicle. And that's what we can prove. And I didn't put her in the driver's seat, you put her in the driver's seat.
My name ain't you guys. Yeah, I'll take it, ain't you guys.
No. It's not in the driver's seat, man.
My hair. Whatever that we doing, whatever happened a couple of months ago, 3-4 months ago. They've been walking this way for 3-4 months.
Where did her person go?
I put it in my seat. I stayed in the next seat.
And she had, it was a box. It had a camera. You don't know where that camera's at?
I ain't seen that camera. It must have been on purpose.
It might have been. And Chris, what do you think Chris did with that? She tell you what she did with it?
I ain't sure what she did with none of this shit. I didn't even know it was money in that night. I didn't even take shit out of it. I didn't even touch the person. All I asked her was her idea. She was like, I don't know, I'm see, you know what I mean? And then I just started thinking about the situation on the way. I had to fuck myself. That's some motherfucker out there. I didn't think about this shit yet. Like, I be drinking. I started drinking twice as much as this shit now. I've been thinking about this shit.
Yeah, they ran some game on me. The girl that got killed, the girl that got killed was Crystal's ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. Brenda's. Yeah. She had nothing to do with any cartel. She was just a nurse. They go to work every day, just a regular person.
She said she I did ask what the girl do. She said that she took some dope and shit out of her house. They were roommates. She said she took some dope out of her house and she had to pay the cartel their money or either get them her ID. That's what she said, actually. Now, she didn't say get them her ID. She said, I just need her ID. That's what she said. You don't have to pay the money, I need her ID. Because I got to pay the money back anyway. This and this. I guess that was just to say something happened to her. That don't mean shit. Fuck yeah, I'm going to go to jail with or some shit. Fuck that, you go to jail with or some shit. I'm not going to jail. I'm trying to go to.
Anything else you can think of that? Yeah.
Everybody's judge. So Detective Barnes, in all, your interrogation around 20 hours.
Yes, sir.
Did you take any breaks, go home, take a nap, anything of that nature?
The only thing I did was use my fingers as a toothbrush to try to freshen my breath up for Mr. Love.
And we've heard the defendant give a description of how events took place, and we know from the surveillance video, not even possible for it to have happened the way he claims.
No, sir. He was he did the same thing with the parking garage that he did the whole way through the interrogation. He minimized his role. He distanced himself from the offense as far as possible, and didn't want to accept responsibility.
Do we also know that the timeline that he wants to give for purchasing that gun, we know that that's not possible either?
That's correct.
And why is that?
Krista was arrested a couple days after the offense on the 4th. So 2 weeks after that offense, Krista was already in jail and loose derrick during that time.
And we're talking to him approximately how long after Krista was arrested?
2 days short of a month.
But the date that he claims about the gun, she was in custody prior to that
That's correct.
and never left custody.
That's correct.
Mayor Pro Judge.
Yes, sir. All right, members of the jury, it's 12:15. Let's go ahead and take a lunch break. Be back in the jury room at 1:30.
All rise.